I'm going live. Nothing scheduled. Nothing really other than a random live stream and some water changing. So I'm going to be doing it on my Peacock and Hap tank. And I'm going to do it on the Frontosa tank. So we'll just see who joins in. But yeah. I do have the chat on, so if anyone wants to come in and say hi, I have my laptop up on the counter over there. So feel free to chat, hang out for a little bit, and then I'll try to keep up with you guys. But until then, we have some water change equipment that I normally use. So feel free to say hi if you want. I use this Vivo Sun pump. I got it from Amazon. It's just a submersible water pump. It has different adjustments on the top here. So you can use various hose sizes. This one is, I don't know the exact size of this, to be honest. I think it's bigger than 5/8. I'm not really sure, but it's pretty good size. So I'm going to use this, my water pump, and also over here I have just a plug that has like a multi-adapter plug. So I just take all this out. It stops the filter, the heater, and everything else. And then I'll just empty this out. So 3G, what's going on, my friend? Yeah, I'm just doing a random live video here for water changing, so it's nothing planned. But yeah, I'll kind of like roughly go through the process. But basically how I do water changes is I unplug everything, take some of this glass top off, and I just get the water out. I'll probably start cleaning the glass first. But yeah, today's water change day. Hey Jeff Kane, good morning. How's it going? I'm gonna try to keep up with chat. I normally don't do stuff like this, just because it's hard to keep up with chat and stuff. But I thought about doing it randomly. I had the time to do it, and I'm not in a big hurry, and I'm just doing 2 tanks today: my Peacock and Hap tank and the Frontosa tank. So feel free to hang out for a little bit during your coffee break or your Sunday morning. Hope everyone's having a good day, a good morning, a good wake-up morning. My live stream went really well last night. I really enjoyed it. It turned out really well. Chat will be difficult. We can ask again if you missed something. Yep. Sounds good. I don't know, Jeff, if you can share this to the Fish Fam link or not. Like I said, this was just a random live, so if there's not a whole lot of people watching, it's fine. I had a lot of people watching last night, and it was a lot of fun. And I think that live last night went really well. This is a mag float. I have quite a few of these in the fish room. Makes life a lot easier. I might be the only one that's crazy that enjoys maintenance and water change videos. I don't know why, like especially when people do like canister filter maintenance. I really like watching those things just to see how everyone does their maintenance a little differently and all that. So But yeah, not a whole lot going on for me except for what I'm doing now. So I figured I had the time to go live for a little bit. See who wants to come hang out. Who else is going on? Still got 4 people watching. I'll take a look. I'm not sure if I have the authority to add you. That's fine. That's all right. I'm not sure how they did it last night because last night I had to recreate my live, and Branton and Jesse were able to add on the fish fam link, but for this being random, it may not be on there, which is fine. But if you do it, great, and if not, no big deal. Toothbrush. This is something that I always use just to kind of get around the edges here. Jesse and I always talk about how we use essential thing like the main essential things used for a fish tank. And I like using toothbrushes to get through the little nooks and crannies of the fish tanks that I really want to make look presentable. Especially like the Peacock and Hap tank for sure. I don't get too particular with a lot of my tanks, especially like my in-wall tank setup I'm a little particular about just because it's a presentable spot for YouTube. But for this one and my Frontosa tank, I try to keep everything nice and neat. Just for the fact that my Peacock and Hap tank is the tank that gets the most attention out of every tank in my house. Because we're always in the kitchen making food. This is where my family eats dinner 90% of the time. So this tank gets the most attention, and I try to keep it as neat as possible. And just try to get the little nooks and crannies and stuff. Even the FX filter, the outtakes, I kind of brush them down a little bit. Just to get some of like the salt residue and like the aquarium salt residue, and just overall there's a little bit of a brown algae on there, so I usually just kind of like to wipe them off a little bit. That's why I like the toothbrush. Just kind of gets to the nooks and crannies of things. Still got 4 people watching. But yeah, there's another thing I use on the back of the glass here. Okay. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of people watching at the moment, which is fine. But if we get more people coming in, that'd be great. But if not, it's all right. If there's like a ton of people on here, they can kind of maybe chat amongst themselves while I'm doing my water change. I'm hoping to get to the Frontosa tank after this. We'll see how that goes as far as camera placement, because it's in a totally other part of the house, in the main dining room. All right, fish fan link, Foxy's Fishes. Thank you. Foxy's got the hookup. Yeah, some of that stuff is kind of above my pay grade per se. A lot of times people can figure that out quicker than I can. So thank you. All right, should be enough scrub down. We are going to unplug and dewater. Yep, no worries. Alrighty. Unplug. I gotta stop the wave maker over here. So right now the heater's off, the FX6 is off. Some people don't mind leaving the filters on. My preference is to turn the filters off. It's just something I've been doing since day one. Just because I don't like a whole lot of, splashing going on per se. One of the things I like using too is it's a button on the live page. Jeff, not sure if they're on mobile though. I'm going live on mobile right now, and I have my laptop to look at the chat for. But anyways, I like using something like this. So that way there's a switch, an on-off switch. It makes life a lot easier when you're plugging things in and doing water changes. That way I can set my pump in, it's not on immediately, and I can kind of control it. All right. I know you guys can't see this, but this hose is going to be going out the door. It is like 30 degrees outside. All right, so that's going out the door, plugged in, and start pumping. I have a Seche Ultra Zero pump too. It's downstairs, but it doesn't pump as fast as this one does. And this one's, I think the Ultra Zero pump is it's like close to $100. It may not be that, maybe it's like 60 to 80 bucks or something like that. But regardless, this one, I like the Ultra Zero pump. I use it for the big tanks downstairs. But this one just pumps out so much quicker. And this is only like 20 or 30 bucks on Amazon. And they have a lot of different adjustments for hose sizes and stuff like that, so. Let's see. Hey, Jose. Or Jose, sorry, Mexicali. Jorge. I had Jose in my chat last night, and man, him and I have been talking quite a bit through text, so it was just kind of like one of those things. But, sorry about that, Jorge, but hey, how's it going? Stupid me. Jorge, you missed my live last night. It went pretty well. I showed off something that was kind of neat, something new in the fish room. If you, Jorge, if you check out like even just the very beginning of my live stream, you'll be able to see it of what I got new in the fish room. Hey, what's up, Ben? Hey, Red. Just hanging out for a little bit, doing some water changing. Like in the beginning of this, I normally don't do something like this, guys, but I had some time to do it, and I'm not in any hurry today on a Sunday. Wife is out with the daughter today, going to like I think a birthday party of some sort. So I said, well, that's a good day to do water changes and do some fish stuff. So I thought I'd come hang out with you guys for a little bit. Whenever I do water changes though, I do use a little bit of aquarium salt that I have in this bin here. And I also have some of this. It simulates an African rift lake chemistry, and it has probiotics in it to promote water quality and health. So I do like a mixture between this and aquarium salt when I do water changes for this tank. I usually do about 45 to 50% water change on this tank. So right now it's pretty good. Like I said before, this pump works really, really well. I really like it. It's from Amazon. It's pretty cheap. Alright, so let me get this hose out of here. I think that's the hardest part about doing water change videos live, is keeping up with the chat. So let me move this out of the way so it's one less thing to worry about. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we had a good backstage last night on my live. It was cool. Let's see. Dead tired last night. That's all right. That's cool. Licking work, sending some underground water pipe to put outdoor faucet in my fish shed. Cool. It's all good. Thanks, Tommy. At least for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. But yeah, I just I don't put a whole lot of salt in here. Probably just, since salt, it doesn't, dissolve or anything. So whatever you take out is kind of what you replace, from what I understand, with salt. So I just put a small couple scoops in between aquarium salt and my Riff Lake cichlid salt from Fritz. So let me get a spoon to stir this. It takes a while for this stuff to dissolve in this container here, so I just take this container and just mix it in. But like the dosage for this, for like an empty tank that hasn't been added any salt into it, for Tanganyika it says 1.5 teaspoons for 10 gallons, and then Lake Malawi 3/4 a teaspoon, and then Victoria I use a half a teaspoon for each 10 gallons, or 37.85 liters. So I don't add a lot into it, just enough to promote the health and kind of mimic what it simulates, the African Rift Lake chemistry. So but I just keep mixing it every now and then. And then I just use my Python to fill everything back up. My water pressure isn't that great, and it takes forever, especially here in the winter time. It takes forever for the water to heat up. But I just use one of these. This is like one of those things you check like meat and stuff for, like if you're grilling and stuff. And I've only used it for fish stuff only. So I use this to check the temperature of the water. It's about 75. My Inkbird that I have connected with my heater, it's set at 76 or 77. I can't remember. Well, it's off right now because I have it unplugged. But it takes a while, so let me go to chat until the water warms up. Yeah, Tommy changed his name to the Aquatic News Network. Oh, okay, 37 gallon, just playing around. That's cool. I use, just by preference, for myself, I use this for my water conditioner. I know a lot of people use Aquarium Safe for water conditioner. But this stuff is kind of nice for me because I don't know if Aquarium Safe detoxifies heavy metals. And the reason why I use this one over Aquarium Safe for me is I have an older house, so a lot of my piping is still like the copper tubing and stuff. So I still like to, like some, like it's like a half and half. Some of it's plastic and some of it's copper tubing. And plus I have a well, and it does go through a water softener, so that's why I choose this stuff, because it detoxifies any metals. Obviously removes chlorine and chloramines. And then this has like aloe vera, so that's why I use this stuff over aquarium safe. I think aquarium safe is a little cheaper too, but still waiting on the water to get the temp up. Yeah, I like using these. I like using these digital thermometers because it just checks the temperature like immediately. We're sitting at like 75, so I'd probably be safe using 75, 76. Okay, we're good. Oh, this is a new bottle. I forgot I got a new bottle. I have this water conditioner as the water goes in, and I've never had a fish die from doing it this way. It's just worked for me every time. I know some people like to add it relatively before they add the new water in, but if something works, then I'm going to keep doing it. Tommy says Jesse's locked in my bunker as I'm forcing him to read scripts so I know if they are worth it or not. Like Mystery Science Theater. I remember that show. Mystery Science Theater. I used to watch that show a lot, actually. They came out with like a lot of B movies. B-rated movies, I think they call it. And then they would just make fun of them. It was actually kind of entertaining. I'm going to double check the water temperatures. Yeah, about 77. So usually a couple degree difference is okay with me. You guys are used to seeing me downstairs in front of my in-wall tank set up, so I can hang out with you guys for a little bit while the tank's filling up. Hopefully it won't wobble you guys too much. Let's see here. Should be good to take off one of these towels because I don't need anything else. Let's see if I can do this. Just like a tablecloth. Like the tablecloth trick. Don't worry, guys, I'm still here. I was gonna move my laptop in a little closer so I could chat with you guys for a little bit. All right. Yeah, last night was a lot of fun. I was getting a little nervous because there was only like a few people watching, but that was because of stupid. YouTube works really weird. It like if you schedule on your phone and then you try to do it on a computer, it doesn't work that way. So I had to like reschedule the whole entire thing. Be sure to do at least one with the head shadows in on a screen. That would be a great throwback. Yeah, that is definitely a throwback for sure. Thanks for coming out, guys, though. I appreciate it. There's not a whole lot of people on here, but it's all right. We can all hang out on a Sunday afternoon for a little bit, Sunday morning. $77.5. I always recommend using a Python. That seems like a... I keep bumping the table because the camera's sitting right in front of me here. So if I go like this, a lot of shakiness. Earthquake test. But I felt like this was probably the best spot to put the camera for now. Let's see. Shouldn't need this towel. Shouldn't. Keyword. Shouldn't. How's everyone's Sunday going? Hope everyone's doing good. Hope you guys can see and hear everything okay. I didn't even do an audio or a visual check. I did an audio and visual check last night and everyone said it was good. But when I was watching it on my laptop, it was real jittery for me. And then when I did the replay, it's like watching a Korean movie, like Squid Games or something like that, to where my lips were just slightly off during the whole presentation of the replay. So what's everyone doing on a Sunday? I know that Jorge's working on a 37-gallon head lying around. I'll be moving stuff around to the Frontosa tank here too as well. That's like always the hardest part, is trying to find the best camera placement. Oh, for what I feed my Peacock and Haps is I do a mixture between I'm trying to fill it up with plant trimmings. Alright, that's cool. I use extreme flakes, a mixture of this, because some of the fish are pickier than others, so it seems like they really like this. And then I also use there's a little bit of everything in this. So I have a little bit of this, New Life Spectrum, that's mixed in. I had some spare leftover food before I went to Northfin, so I had some of this. There's a smidge of this in here. But then I also have Northfin, 2 millimeter. And then these are the 3 I have that's mixed in here, along with what I just showed. So it's CroPro, Cichlid, and Veggie all mixed into here. And this is just the same thing as what's in here. So that's what I feed my fish, is generally mainly Northfin with a few New Life Spectrum and whatever I have left of that Omega 1. It's just one big mixture along with some extreme flakes. So, yeah, everyone, make sure to like the video if you want. We got 10 people watching and 7 likes, so we had a whole, I guess you could say, I lost better terms, but a little thing going. We were trying to get as many people that was watching. We had to get as many likes as people were watching. And I think it worked out pretty well, because we had, on average, probably about 25 people watching by the second half of the live stream. And then we had like probably some odd 25 likes. I could probably look it up real quick. Let's see here. Channel live. There is, so far there is, let's see, 27 likes. So that worked really well. We had 27 likes on last night's live stream. And like I said, we had on average, I think it was almost close to 30 at some point, but I say on average, it was probably around 25 people, give or take, during the live stream. So it worked well. I'm sure everyone's busy on a Sunday, spending time with their friends and family and stuff, so. Wasn't a whole lot going on for me. Yeah, there was quite a few people streaming at the same time, Jeff. But I used to worry, I guess really not worry about it, but I used to try to at least be somewhat conscious of scheduling my lives around other people, but it's more difficult than you think, and now I don't worry about it. I have to do it on my time, and it ended up working out. So that might have been some of the reason why a lot of people are just trying to catch all the lives all at once, because it seems like when someone jumps off one live, they jump on another. And it worked out for me in the second half, because we had quite a few people join mine towards the end, so it worked out. Hey RJ, hey, you got a minute? Thanks. Thanks for hanging out with us last night too. I was gonna go, well, I guess I can't say I was, but there's a fish auction in Canton that's probably like 10 minutes down the road from my house, but I, for one, needed to get some water changes done, and two, I don't have a vehicle at the moment. Hey Cheryl, thanks for coming in. My vehicle, my truck is getting fixed because my bumper got a trash can hit my bumper, because roads were slick about a couple months ago, and it was extremely windy, and a trash can grew legs and decided to hit the front of my truck, and it was either hit the car or hit the truck. Or I'm sorry, it was either hit the trash can or hit the car that was, because I actually moved out of the way to dodge that moving trash can that the wind blew out into the road. So I actually moved out of the way of the trash can, but then the car came around the bend, and I was like, well, I got one of two options: either get the trash can's insurance or I get the person's insurance. I'd rather injure the trash can and get the trash can's insurance and that information. Liking and pumping you up. I work in a body shop, so all right, there you go. Hey Ben. I might have already said hi to you, but hey again. We got 15 watching. My water pressure for this sink over here is ridiculously slow. That's why it literally takes me about maybe 5 minutes or less to drain this tank halfway, and then it takes me like, I don't know, I've been streaming for 34 minutes, and I think I started filling his tank up maybe 10 minutes ago, and I still got about, a fourth of the way to go. One of these days I replace the light on here, but I'm not in any hurry to, because I think the light's just a little bit too bright for this fish tank, so I'm going to leave this light on for I think it goes from, let's see here, I have a timer on it. Comes on at 9:30 and goes off at 2. So it's only on for 4.5 hours throughout the day. So like, I don't know. This tank has, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but my tank for some reason has a problem with the brown algae. And I don't know if maybe that's something that's maybe in my canister filter. I need to put like something that's an extremely fine filtration, like more fine. Like maybe I need to put like some pinky floss, or maybe something in my filtration, because I don't have any pinky floss in there currently. So maybe that's something to look into. Maybe you guys can leave me a comment in there why I would have, like, it always seems like there's an excessive amount of brown algae. And like, I'm not looking for perfection by any means, but it just seems like whenever I rinse these rocks off a little bit and clean those out, it's usually with like in a couple weeks they look brown again. And these are actually like a gray to purple color, and they just turn like this brown color like within a couple weeks. So maybe that's just something in the filtration that will be able to help with that. But I actually got rid of a lot of the decorations. I didn't have a whole lot of decorations in there because the Peacock and Haps, they need that swimming space. But I used to have a few more things in here, but then long story short, when I was adding fish and removing fish and going, whenever my Venusis died, the whole tank went nuts. So whenever I was trying to figure the whole thing out, the only thing that worked was to remove most of the decoration, because it seems like a couple of the fish I actually gave to my local fish stores, they got so aggressive, it was almost, they were any fish that got around where the spot that they wanted, they would attack them like viciously. So the only thing that worked was to get rid of a couple of the aggressors and get some replacements that worked, and have minimal decorations in here is what solved that problem. RJ says, I'm technically just a pretty boy painter, but I've put years in fixing car damage. Yeah, I'm not a mechanic. I am the least amount of car mechanic person as possible. Like I would not get a hold of me if you need your car fixed. And I don't even change my own oil. I hate to admit that, but with my schedule and my life and everything, if I wasn't in like maybe like a fish hobby and I didn't have a lot of stuff going on with the family and with my work schedule, I probably would get more into it and do my own oil changes. But it's so easy, because like 5 minutes down the road it's like a 10-minute oil change, and I can practically stop there on my way to work and get it done quick and easy, not have to worry about it. And I don't mind paying the extra money for it. Ben says, I am a service writer at a repair shop. Yeah, you guys are probably better off doing service repairs than I would. Oil, water, paint, don't mix. Yep. I'm sorry, guys. I keep bumping the legs of this table, so it keeps jittering the camera. I'm trying not to, but this table is made. There's a lot of like arches with this table, so I keep my knee is bumping into the various spots of this table. This is crazy. I think especially in the wintertime, I feel like the water pressure in this is even worse. Because I feel like it just takes forever. And it's even worse in the Frontosa tank, because that's 50 gallons more than what this tank is. So if you think this is slow, it's even worse over there. I'm going to try my best to give you guys the best viewing for my Frontosa tank. Whenever I do water change over there. But I have a big window over there, and the reflection on that window is like absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know if I'm going to get a good camera angle for you guys whenever I do the water change over there. Yeah, we're getting close though. I wonder if the... Nope. I went to go check and see if the faucet was like open all the way. Maybe that's why it seems a lot slower. But man, this is just slow. Slow and steady wins the race, I guess. All right, so we're getting there. I'm going to go ahead and switch this back on. Guys, just hang it out for a little bit. One day I'd like to get my replacement Venusis. No time like the present, Cheryl. Yeah, usually if I'm off work, I usually try to do my water changes when our wife and daughter are out doing wife and daughter stuff. It's usually the best time to do it too, just because it gives me more time and more room to do everything. As opposed to, especially upstairs. Usually, if I'm doing stuff downstairs and they're upstairs, it's fine. I can talk to them as, you know, in between doing tanks and stuff and water changes downstairs. But when I'm doing water changes upstairs, it's almost better if they go leave and do their own thing for a little bit. Why do water changes upstairs? So that way I don't have a toddler running around, tripping over the hoses and getting into the cabinets to where all my fish stuff is. And it's like multitask to the max. I'm sure everyone knows about trying to multitask with kids running around. Do any of you guys know about what I was talking about earlier? About, like, you guys know anything about the brown algae? Maybe any solutions on how I could prevent it from accumulating quicker than what it is doing? I'm assuming it has something to do with my filtration. I probably need something that's extremely fine. Or maybe there's something in the water that needs... I don't know. I feel like it has something to do with the filtration. Hi, Koi Pit. Thanks for coming in. We're just doing a water change day today. Hopefully my laptop battery won't run out. I got an hour and 43 minutes of battery life remaining, which that could change quickly. I'll turn the lighting down a little bit. Let's not get too distracted though, because I'm almost done here. I'm almost done filling up. Yeah, let's dim that down a little bit, try to save some battery power. Almost done, guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Kids moved out, but dogs want to know why you're on the ground. Next tank soon, yep. Yeah, the next tank is my Aqua Decor tank, but it's going to take a minute to get everything set up, so hopefully you guys can hang out with me for a little bit. Because I got to move the camera, I got to move the laptop, I got to get set up. I got to grab something downstairs that I forgot about. I got to get the sink set up, so there might be some short periods of time where maybe you guys can... the guys everyone that's in the chat, maybe you guys can put like a stop sign in whenever I'm getting things set up, so that way everyone knows that in between water changes, or I'm sorry, in between moving the camera and the laptop and get everything set up. That everyone knows I'm not like gone. So good as new. My Inkbird is set at 77. And I think it's at a 2-degree mark, if I'm not mistaken. All right, thanks, RJ. Yeah, but my Inkbird in here, and I did an Inkbird for this tank because this is my most expensive tank as far as fish goes. So that's the last thing I want to have happen is a heater malfunction, and go and heat the water up and kill all my fish because I hate to lose all that. Hey, Warren. Yep, I'm doing just fine. Doing some water changing today on a couple tanks. I gotta check my app to see if I need to do a water change on my community tank, but I think I did that a couple weeks ago. This Sunshine Peacock, it does not like the lemon jake. It gets along with everybody else, but for some reason it does not like that lemon jake, and that's why he's so colored down right now. And I don't know if lemon jake's gonna make it. I might have to quarantine him and see if he gets better because his stomach's starting to get a little bit thinner per se. So that's part what I'm gonna have to do is try to fix him, and not fix him, but like try to help him out a little bit, and maybe re-add him later. Slow and steady wins the race, guys. At least I got good water pressure. I didn't have to adjust my pre-sponge filter at all, so I did that a few days ago, so it's still running strong. And getting close. I think I'm going to, I think I'll stop right there. I'll let you guys know when I need to have a stop icon, so that way I can hang out with you guys for a little bit. I'm okay for now. Oh, wait a minute, I'm missing something here. My salt water. There we go. One final touch that I do before I switch tanks. You guys may not like this idea, but it's worked for me. But I use this glass cleaner and I point it downward so none of it, could possibly get in this tank, and I just wipe it down with a paper towel. And it works for me. I never have any issues with it. I always point downward to it just to make sure. I don't worry about buying any aquarium safe glass cleaner. And then for the sides, I'll just spray on the paper towel here. Sorry if I made you guys nervous about that. It also helps with my mag float. It helps it run on the tank a little smoother too. But yeah, picture perfect, right? Where did the cat go? There it is. Yeah, I do that too. Either or works. I guess a safer manner would be to just spray the paper towel. But yeah, anyways. What do you think? Looks good? Looks clean? Water change done? Oh, I gotta turn my wave maker back on. I might scare my lemon jake here. Sometimes this wave maker, there we go. I can probably point this up a little bit. I think I hit it a little bit ago. Oh, you know what? It got unstuck. Hold on a second, guys. There we go. The wave maker it's a pretty big suction cup, but every so once in a while, it'll kind of loosen itself up. But it's a wave maker that I got on Amazon. It's lasted me this whole entire length of this life of this tank. I've had it in here for over a year, and it's still alive and kicking. Hey, Lumi. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, I just haven't replaced it yet with any type of high grade wave maker or anything like that, just because the fact of the wave maker still works. And sometimes it spins backwards when you first plug it in, so I just got to unplug it and plug it back in again. So let's see here. Let me get situated. What I have to do right now is I have to empty the hose out from my kitchen sink. And then I'm going to start moving things around and get things set up. So what I'll do with the camera for now is I'll get my laptop so I can kind of see the chat. But in the meantime, I'll just set my camera up a little closer and let you guys view the fish tank. And then we'll move to the next tank. How about that? Hope that's a good view for you. Yeah, you guys can enjoy this tank. Everyone in the chat, if you want to, you can put a stop sign in. I'm going to empty this hose out and get the other stuff situated for my 125 Aqua Decor Frontosa tank. I'll still be around, but I'm going to try to get things set up pre-game. So thank you, Jeff. Yep, that's what the placeholder is for. I'm getting things set up and pre-gaming for the 125. because that 125 is in the dining room. So I have to kind of get things prepared. And then I move the camera over there. All right. I'm getting there, guys. I got the water hose or the python hooked up to my faucet. I just got to get everything else set up for changing water. Alrighty, we're getting close, everybody. We're getting close. Hopefully you guys like the view of the Peacock and Hap tank. Alrighty, let me bring my laptop in with me. All right, you guys ready? I think I'm all set up. Let's get a go sign. I'm going to try to get you guys set up the best that I can. Should be good to go if you guys are still with me. Let's get a thumbs up. Heyo. Thanks, RJ. RJ says not yet. Okay. Ready, ready, ready. Holding on for dear life. All right, here we go. Okay, bada bing, bada boom. Let's see if I can get you guys a good angle here. Be terrible if my phone dropped. Let's see, it looks pretty good. I'm sorry if you see my kid toys in the background. It doesn't look too bad. You're gonna get a little bit of reflection from some kid toys and stuff, but other than that, it looks okay. Let me organize my towel here on everything I'm setting things down at so I don't drop you guys while I'm doing the live. Oh, there goes a toothbrush. All right. So, oh, you know what? I gotta go get my my mag float. I'll be right back. Tell you what, that's one thing you can never have enough of is towels in the fish room. Just in case, because you never know. Hey, Jody P. How's it going? And Prodigal Aquarist. What's going on? We're just doing some water changes. Emoji on your phone. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Where'd you go? There you go. Come here, you. Come to my hand, magnet. Oh, you know you want to. You're just gonna hang out right there. Come on. Whoop, there we go. You know you wanna. So if you guys have been on this since the start, I got this pump from Amazon. And I know that the hose I'm using, it's bigger than a 5/8 hose. It might be like a 1/2 inch hose. Or no, you know what? I think it's a 3/4 hose now that I think of it. Because it's a pretty, the hoses are pretty, width-wise, it's a pretty good size hose. And this pump pumps out more than the CJ Ultra Zero pump. So right now this is not going outside like it was in my Peacock and Hap tank. So this pump, it's just going into my stand-up shower here in the bathroom over there. And for the most part, it runs okay, but since it pumps out so fast, I know you can adjust the speed because you can kind of move. There's a little a thing that you can spin on this pump, and it'll adjust the flow. But I just like to get things done, so I just happen to open up all the way, and I have to keep an eye on it because after so long, I have to stop the pump because it'll overfill the this much room that's where the stand-up shower is. So, with a tank this size, I kind of like to, that's why I like using a 3/4 size hose, if I'm not mistaken, if that's what the size is. I like to use that one because it takes the water out really quick, but I also have to keep an eye on it So it doesn't overflow my shower. So that's a little backstory behind that. I am going to brush off some of the decor, at least the more visual parts of it. I'm not worried about like underneath the little nooks and crannies per se. And I use this. This is just like a sink brush that I've used only for aquarium stuff only, and it's got a soft bristle brush, so it should clean it pretty good. All right. It looks like Cheryl's doing water changes. These tanks are too clean. Yeah, my water pump it's pretty crazy. You guys are gonna see this tank probably get a little bit dirty, just because I'm brushing off some of this. And this is actually what Aqua Decor suggests, is to get some type of soft bristle brush to go along the rocks and stuff. And it does a good job. I mean, it really makes things look pretty clean. I know the frontoses are probably hiding at the moment. They usually do that whenever I do my water changes. If you guys can see, there's like this mound of sand right here, and there's a mound of sand like that's back here. These, if I fix this like this, they'll put it right back to where it was, just the way they liked it, within like a couple days. They like this spot in the corner, and they just dig it up every time. But yeah, this soft bristle brush here, it works really well. Especially for this, if I keep up on it and don't let this get too dirty. And because of this being kind of like, essentially kind of like my pride and joy per se, I kind of like to try to keep this pretty neat. I don't like to get too picky with it, because I do like to have some natural look to it, since it is kind of like a natural tank sort of thing. So I don't like to get too detailed, but just enough to where I can. The original color of this is like a grayish brown, and a lot of times if I let this tank go, then I don't get to see a lot of that gray color to it, and I like that gray color. So I like to try to scrub some of this stuff down so that gray color kind of comes back. Especially like in this area. It's nice to see that color contrast between the gray and the brown. And it's nice too, because even when like things get dirty, it's not too noticeable. Just because of the color variations I chose. But it is nice to clean them every so once in a while, and I thought I'd do that for you, just to present to you guys what I'm doing here. And I don't do this every water change either. This is just something that I thought I'd share with you guys, and what my routine is whenever I do water changes with this tank. Like I said, I don't get too carried away. I just like to give enough so I can see the, like I said, the color contrast of all the decorations and stuff. But the fish are pretty good with staying out of the way whenever I'm doing this, so that's always a plus. With my community tank, with where all my mollies are at, those fish, they just run into the hose like that I'm doing the water change. They just literally walk into death. They like willingly do it. So I have to be really careful doing a water change in that tank, and there's so many mollies in there too. I don't know. You guys probably can't see a difference really, just because the tank's starting to get a little bit murky. Plus, like I said, the reflection's kind of poopy. I'll catch up with chat here in a minute. Once I start draining the tank, I can try to catch up with chat without overfilling my shower. You guys will probably see a bigger difference once the water is changed, because right now it's probably hard to see anything. Yeah, like I said, I don't get too carried away with scrubbing things off, because I do like the natural look as well. Just do a quick brush. This is what I had to get downstairs. And then let me get this area real quick. Toothbrush, guys, toothbrush. I normally try not to mess with the substrate too much, just because I know that holds a lot of beneficial bacteria in it if you don't mess with it. But if I just mess with just like the front of this for presentable purposes, then it shouldn't disturb it too much. There's a mountain on this side too. You guys can't see it because you'd have to walk over to this side, but they do like to dig and create their own little homes. All right, let me see what you guys are talking about. Vibes, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. Let me needs to force herself out of bed. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the water level now, RJ. I still have the filter running too, so I'm gonna start running the drop the water level now. So I have an on-off switch underneath here. And that's probably not a bad idea either, RJ, is to clean as I go. Sometimes I do that, but I was just trying to do a little more explanation for you guys. So give me 1 second here. Let me start this water. How about that, RJ? Clean as you go, right? Get a little bit extra spots around here. All right. Let me get some tank water. I'm gonna replace some salt. Get some of that going. Since this is Lake Tanganyika, I need to add a little bit more salt than the other one. Also because the tank's a little bit bigger. All right. So this is where I was telling you guys this thing can kind of run ahead of the shower. I gotta wait for the shower to drain up. So this is what I was telling you. I'd bring the camera over there and show